let us move on to the next league of the day and see which deck we are going to be playing. Inverter. All right. So for anyone familiar with the Pioneer deck that is now banned, the idea is to use Inverter of Truth, which basically, when it enters the battlefield, you exile all the cards from your library face down, and then you shuffle all the cards from your graveyard into your library. So depending on how many cards you've put in your graveyard up to that point in the game, you'll have very few cards left, and then win with Thassa's Oracle. And then the rest of the deck is just a Dimir control deck, so you're playing Opt, Fatal Push, Thoughtseize, Talisman of Dominance to get to Inverter faster. Of course, the Ring is here because why not? Archmage's Charm and Counterspell. And then typical sideboard, Graveyard Hate with Dauthi Voidwalker, Chalice, EE, Dress Down, Spell Pierce, and a pretty typical suite of Dimir lands. So let's jump into a league with Inverter. All right, round one on the draw. We have, looks decent enough to me. Keep. Opponent plays Rogrin tapped. All right, I guess, so Rogrin tells me it's probably not a creature deck. So I think what I want to do is play Watery Grave, and then next turn I can play either, maybe I just play this Shocked in case they play a creature. Yeah, all right. Shock this in, and then I can hold up Counterspell next turn. Turn one Rogrin is probably Wrenn and 6. All right, I guess no. All right, let's just go Talisman, Thoughtseize. Opponent fetches, gets a Zagoth Triumph. Okay, this is almost certainly Elementals. They revealed Kahira too, yeah. Solitude, Solitude, Prismatic. Well, we don't care if they have Solitude, so let's just take Prismatic. All right, pass the turn. Playing the Plains and tapping for Teferi? Yeah. Bouncing our Talisman back. All right. Well, now our counter spells are off. So, all right, just replay this and then pass the turn. Plus Teferi, play Hallowed Fountain, untapped, so they drew Omnath on top of all that. Black. Oh, they're just putting Kahira in their hand. All right. Well, we can't Inverter right now or we lose, so let's just play the Ring. Draw a card in case we hit a land. Opponent casts Leyline Binding. All right. And we drew what? Oh, we draw nothing because the counter hasn't gone on it yet. Well then, I guess we pass the turn. Teferi pluses, play Scalding Tarn, and they have 2 Solitudes, Kahira, and 2 unknown cards. All right, well, we can't even really do anything. We don't have enough cards in our graveyard to survive Inverter, plus they have Solitude anyway. So I guess we just play this and then pass. Wait, what? Leyline Binding with the Ring works like that? Yep. So if you activate this and then they, in response, Leyline Binding it, it hasn't gotten the counter yet. So you draw nothing. Narset. So, okay, are they just like 5-color control? So I can't opt, and I can't opt on their turn. So yeah, I'm just doing a whole lot of nothing here. Let's pass. I mean, we can always just draw Oracle. So like we're never quite out of the game. They got Force and Negation. Teferi bounce our Talisman back, and then when we play the Talisman, they'll force it, I guess. So this looks like it's not Elemental. All right, well, let's just run this back out. Why not? All right, they're not forcing it. Well, pass the turn. And now they're just going to flash Solitude in because we didn't do anything. Yep. All right, 1 Solitude down. I could have sworn you still draw. Got it. Didn't know. They are blue-white control. Well, they're blue-white control with extra colored lands for Prismatic and Leyline Binding and perhaps other cards. Kahira, yeah, so now we get attacked for 4, and we're actually on a clock now. They can flash in the other Solitude, right? They can flash in the other Solitude. We're at 11, and then we take Lethal plus Teferi, right? That's 8-11 exactly, and we can't push this. All right, well, we have drawn actual nothing. If we Inverter, we just lose the game. So yeah, can't do anything. Begin sideboarding. Definitely want Spell Pierce, Mystical Dispute, Chalice EE do nothing, Murderous Cut basically doesn't do anything. Dauthy's okay, do we have more to cut for that? I don't want Fatal Pushes because they basically don't do anything. Thoughtseize is good. Cling to Dust, exile target card from a graveyard as a creature, card gain 3, otherwise you draw a card. This is not great either. They probably have Wrenn and 6 though, so I guess it's okay. Get Murderous Cut out of the deck. That, bring 2 of these in. They also have Narset. We do actually have to kill... They have Narset and Teferi. We do need to actually kill these things. What can we cut for Dauthi? Charm. That seems fine. All right, submit. All right, on the play, game 2. Turn 1 Thoughtseize, 3 lands. Yeah, okay, this is fine. We do have to take 16 to do this, but whatever. Take 2 off Watery Grave. Thoughtseize our opponent, who mulled to 6. Ring Teferi, Omnath, 3 lands. I guess it's probably just Teferi, right? Yeah, take Teferi, and then pass the turn. Opponent plays Scalding Tarn, passes. Well, there's Oracle, so let's go Minamo, cast Opt. We do want a 4th land, I suppose, so we will reach card, click to put it on top or bottom. top. Draw that, and then pass. Opponent fetches Rogren Triome, Scalding Tarn, pass. All right, so let's just play the fetch land past the turn. Yep. Opponent fetches, probably the other Triome. Yep. Hallowed Fountain, shocked, but they're not casting anything. All right, fetch, Watery Grave. All right, slam Inverter. Inverter. Inverter resolves. All right, we have 3 cards in our deck. Pass turn to the opponent. And they are doing nothing. All right. Can we even kill them in 3 turns? I guess we can, right? So we attack, put them to 10. Then we draw another card, attack, put them to 4. So it is actually correct to attack them. Swing. All right, Thoughtseize. Yeah, Thoughtseize, and then if they have no answer to the Oracle, we just win. Thoughtseize. Pay the black. What do you got? Casting. Force of Negation. Okay. So, yeah, just jam Oracle, and then we have Spell Pierce. Blue, blue, Oracle. They have Subtlety. All right. Well, that's fine. I guess we put this back on top of our deck. Well, pass to you, opponent. So that still leaves us with 2 Oracles and Spell Pierce. All right, we won. On to game 3. Is this still correct? I assume it is. We can only EE for 2. Yeah, seems fine to me, I suppose. Submit. All right, game 3 against blue-white control-ish. We only have 1 land. While we can cast stuff, it's not good enough, so mull this. We only have 1 black mana for Dothy, which is awkward, but this is makes black. If you play the land, make black. All right, so I guess I'm going to keep this and bottom what? A basic island, probably? Yeah. All right, opponent has mulled to 5. Plays the Steam Vents. Play Manamo, and then just pass it back with Opt Up. Oh no, I should have played River of Tears first. My mistake. That way if I drew a black source, I could play Dothy on turn 2. Plays Island. All right, Opt. Talisman is actually good. Yeah, Talisman's good. So draw Talisman. And then, all right, so let's go River of Tears, play Talisman, and then hold up Mystical Dispute. Pass turn. Opponent shocks in Hallowed Fountain. And now Teferi. Yeah, Mystical Dispute that. All right, now let's just slam the... Oh no, Castle Vantress comes in tapped, right? That's awkward. So now what? I can play either Dothy or Thoughtseize. They're setting up for next turn. They can play Omnath, which is pretty bad. If they spend their turn killing Dothy, that's fine though. All right, let's cast Dothy. All right, I assume that's going to be Omnath mana now. Yep, Omnath. No, the ring. All right. And now we can't Thoughtseize them anymore until next turn. If I play Inverter, I lose the game, so let's just play the ring. Draw a card. Opt. All right, attack with Dothy. All right, attacking with Dothy does nothing because of the ring. Well, I can't block with it either, so that's fine. All right, they ring some more. Now what? Just play Teferi, bounce our Dothy back. No, bounce our ring back. All right, well, let's try attacking Teferi. All right, that went through. So I guess let's just play another ring, or play the ring again, rather. All right, ring. Or is this getting forced? Or just countered regularly? All right, countered regularly. All right, at least counter spells in the graveyard now. More ring activations. Omnath. Play a land. And now we get to go crazy on mana. So Hallowed Fountain tells me it's Solitude, because they need the second white source. Yeah, Solitude, eat Dothy. All right, well, play a land. Thoughtseize. They have Force Dress down 4 lands, one of which is Manamo. Yikes. Well, let's take Force, and then let's play the ring. All right, and let's draw before they hit Leyline Binding. Pass to the turn. So they still have Dress Down and a bajillion more cards. Omnath triggers, makes a ton of mana. Plays Leyline Binding on our ring. What did they do? They returned their 1 ring to their hand with Otawara. Okay. And then draw another card. And they're still representing Dress Down. All right, now what? I guess let's Opt first. Opt. Don't want that. Bottom that. We drew another Inverter. So it strikes me that if I cast Inverter, they'll probably... Well, no, they don't actually have to assume, right? Because then they can just Dress Down Oracle. So I cannot cast Inverter. How do I get out of this? I guess I'm just going to play a land and then scry with Castle Vantress. Yeah, all right, let's do that. But we're not beating how many cards, mana, and ring draws they have. All right, there's Manamo. So now they get to draw a bajillion more cards. We go to 12. Just got back. What deck are we playing? We're playing Inverter. All right, fetch. Let's grab basic Swamp. And then scry. I should have, yeah. Ring on top, Flooded Strand on top. So let's bottom this. Let's top the ring. All right, Talisman. Play the ring. All right, let's see this get countered. Manamo to untap their ring to draw more cards. Yep, draw more cards. The ring actually resolved. All right, well, what's the odds they don't have Leyline Binding in their 10-card hand? Let's just go for it. Yep, there's Leyline Binding. All right, they don't have Otawara anymore. What are they flashing in here? Cycle Rogren, all right. Play Kahira, no play Teferi. All right, let's just concede this. They have so many cards in hand. In order to win, we have to get around Dress Down, which means we have to like Thoughtseize them, and then they can just cast it in response. We're gonna lose. All right, game 2. On the play. 3 lands, Inverter, Ring, Push. Seems all right. Keep, play a land, and pass. Spire, Bluff, Canal. So almost certainly Murktide. What does that mean? They could have Blood Moon main, but I'm not gonna, yeah. It's just Watery Grave. All right, well, let's Thoughtseize them. Cast Spell Pierce, sure. All right, let's just play the land and then pass the turn. Steam Vents, Shock. Dragon's Rage Channeler. Paying 1 mana, Consider, we'll allow that to resolve, and then we will push the DRC. All right, they put Ragavan and Misty in the graveyard, or, yeah. All right, Fetch, Shock, Fatal Push this, untap. Let's cast Opt first. There's a land, I guess we're gonna keep that, put this on top of our deck, play this tapped, and then pass. All right, nothing. Well, we're gonna jam the ring into a counter spell, but what can you do? Yep, casts Consider, casts Expressive Iteration, plays a land, cracks Scalding Tarn, plays the basic. Now they're just gonna, I thought they were gonna play Murktide there, I guess not. So they're just gonna hold up Counterspell. All right, cast, what is River of Tears? It's blue or black if you played a land. Okay, so cast Opt, put that on the bottom. We drew Thoughtseize. I guess we're Thoughtseizing. Opponent Counterspells, yep, all right. Misty Rainforest, Ledger Shredder. Well, I'm gonna try to kill this. Crack Misty, Spell Pierce. They connived Steam Vents. All right, well, I can't play Inverter with the, I mean, I guess I can play it and try to like race them. They still have Counterspell mana, and if they play Murktide, it's actually bigger than Inverter is. I guess we just pass the turn. They're still representing Counterspell, although that would be the second Counterspell. Also, it's small enough that Unholy Heat kills it, and they have Delirium. All right, pass the turn. They crack Islet, play Bauble, crack Bauble, targeting who? Targeting me. Play Ragavan, not dashing it, Connive Trigger, and they discarded another land. We take 1 from Shredder. Bauble Trigger goes off. They have 3 cards in their hand. Hikes. So they're representing Archmage's Charm. I just feel like they don't know that we're playing Inverter, so the second I play an Inverter, it lets them just sideboard better against us. I guess the Ragavan is going to help them find out regardless. All right, let's go. Let's just play it. See if this gets countered. I don't really understand why they didn't dash the Ragavan. All right, Inverter. Oh, I should have fetched first. All right, they're just going to heat it out of the way. Double bolt it. Then trigger Ledger Shredder, conniving a land. And we take 3, or yeah, we take 3. What is Ragavan Exile? Flooded Strand, all right. Well, we have to win the game off of this 1 Inverter. That looks like Murktide. If Murktide's a 6/6 or higher, which it looks like it will be, then we can't win. All right, Murktide. We want Cut, we want Dothy Voidwalker, we want Mystical Dispute, we definitely want Spell Pierce. Chalice is okay, EE is good too. What do we not want? These are pretty expensive counter spells, but I guess they're fine. These matches are gonna go long, so let's cut Talisman. Let's cut, what else? Opt is not very good. We can cut 1 of these, maybe 2 of these. We're also not going to jam Inverters as hard. We're not going to jam Oracles as hard either. So we can cut probably 2 of the Oracles. We basically just need to win a very long slugfest. So they might bring in Blood Moon. So we do have to be aware of that. They're definitely bringing in Dress Down. So this is, the fact that it's 2 River of Tears is so awkward. We have to draw lands for this hand to be good. Also, Inverter is not that great. We do have the Ring as a payoff, but it's probably never resolving. The mana is just too awkward. Let's mulligan. Well, now we have a single Sunken Rune, so we're going to mull to 5. All right, keep this. Put back Oracle. Put back 1 of the EEs. Done. River. Thoughtseize. All right, opponent's hand is filled with goodness. I guess I'm just going to take Expressive, and hopefully they just jam Ragavan out. Fetching Flooded Strand. Steam Vents. Plays Ragavan. Plays Bauble. Cracks the Bauble on upkeep. All right, so let's play this tapped and then just push Ragavan. All right, go. So Bauble resolves. Second land, nothing. All right, Island. And then I don't know whether I need to play EE on 1 or 2. If I play it on 2, they can just Spell Pierce it. So I guess let's play it on 1. And now if they want to hit this, they have to double Spell Pierce it. All right, obviously they're not. Flooded Strand, and then they just pass the turn. All right, let's play this tapped and pass back. Crack the Flooded Strand. Get a Steam Vents, Fiery Islet, and then pass back to us. All right, I guess there's no good window to play this, so let's just pass it back. Just counter a threat, although there's no threat that we can counter. They sack Islet, play another land. Paying 2 mana for Ledger Shredder. So if we try to counter this right now, they just have Spell Pierce, and then they have another Spell Pierce for Murderous Cut. God, it's so awkward. So the double Spell Pierce is just killing us. I guess I try to Murderous Cut this on their turn, and then if I draw a land, I can Archmages to draw. Alright, it resolves. Play a Bauble to trigger the Ledger Shredder. What are they conniving? Unholy Heat. I got rid of that. Crack the Bauble. Fetch with Delta. Get an island. Alright, Murderous Cut. Get rid of that. This. How did none of that auto tap or tap for black mana? Delve this. And then they just Spell Pierce it. Maybe not? They have to, right? Yeah, okay. Spell Pierce. Their Bauble trigger goes off. Alright, well, we can at least draw some cards now. So, float blue, blue. Play River of Tears, blue. Cast this, draw 2 cards. It was 2 lands. Alright then. Pass the turn. End of turn, consider. We take 2 from Shredder, go to 16. Play a land. Bauble. Crack Bauble. Fetch a land. Alright, Bauble trigger resolves, they draw a card. We drew Archmage's Charm, so let's just play this. They still have Spell Pierce, right? Yeah. So let's just try to cast this on their end step. I assume they're going to delve Murktide now. No, Expressive Iteration, sure. Putting Ragavan in the exile zone. Cast Ragavan, trigger the Shredder. They discard a Spell Pierce, so they don't have Spell Pierce anymore. They have 5 unknown cards. Another land. Attack with the Shredder. Taking 3. I guess I should cast this now, and if I draw a removal spell... Yeah, let's try this now. So, draw some cards. Blue, blue, blue. See if they counter this. Well, I didn't draw any cards, or any removal. Cast another Bauble. Crack the Bauble. Crack Scalding Tarn. Alright, let's crack EE right now. Kill Ragavan, untap and draw. Bauble trigger. Alright, and now we can Thoughtseize them and see what we're dealing with. Cast Thoughtseize. They have 2 counter spells and Murktide. Well, let's take one of the 2 counter spells. And they have Otawara as well. So then we'll play a land. And if we try to jam the ring out, then it just gets countered. So let's instead just hold up Otawara. If they play Murktide, we bounce that. If they don't play Murktide, we bounce Shredder back to their hand on end step. Alright, they're just casting Murktide. So 5/5. Take 3 from the Shredder, down to 8. Alright, Otawara this back to your hand. And then I guess let's fetch. Watery Grave, no. So I can try to bait their counterspell with Fatal Push, I suppose. Yeah, alright, let's try that. Well, Okay, so either way, they're going to counter the ring, right? Yeah, so let's just do this first. Alright, that resolved. So I guess we just wait now. Because I can potentially draw more Hand Disruption or something, or like another card that they might want to counter. Opponent plays DRC. Opponent plays Consider. Are they going to delve another Murktide here? Another Murktide. So we need to draw an answer to this counterspell right now. That is not an answer to counterspell. I guess let's see if they counter it. They're not going to, though. Alright, yeah. Well, 0-2. On to game 3. Alright, we have the combo in hand. Just don't have enough lands to get it. But we can keep this. Thoughtseize, and then... Yeah, alright. Are we on the player draw? We're on the draw. Alright, keep. Urza's Saga. If they're doing it turn 1, that probably means this is Amulet Titan. Alright, well, no time to lose. Just Thoughtseize. Ring, Dryad, Azusa. I guess we take Ring, right? Yeah, take Ring. So Urza's Saga goes to 2 counters. They get to play a Forest, or Otawara. Alright, well, they drew out Valakut for the turn. I don't need double this, right? So let's just play, yeah, River of Tears, pass. 4 to 5 Thoughtseize or Scam decks this league. Sad. That is sad. Alright, float a mana. Go grab Amulet of Vigor. They didn't have a bounce land when I saw them last, but that doesn't mean they didn't draw one. So that's the Forest. Playing Dryad. That resolves. Play Otawara. Alright, so... I can hold up Archmage's Charm, or I can just play the Talisman, but then I can't do anything with that. It is possible we could die next turn. Either way, it's probably better to just draw 2 cards with the Charm. So let's pass it back. Their hand is Azusa, Dryad, 1 unknown, and then another unknown when they draw. Bounce land, alright. So they need an actual payoff for that, though. So they could have drawn Summoner's Pact or Titan. Second Dryad, that resolves. Bajuka Bogni, sure. Alright, so they just have Azusa bounce land in hand. So let's just pass through until the end step and then draw 2 cards with Archmage's Charm. Target player draws 2. We drew a land. So they just have Azusa bounce land, so it's probably best to just cast Inverter right now, and then they have to draw exactly the win. The different, let's see, if I play the ring right now, that doesn't matter. I'm on the same clock regardless. So yeah, let's just play Inverter, and then just play Oracle next turn. So our opponent has a 1-turn window to get out of this. I expected mill, says our opponent. I ain't even mad. All right, they've got one draw to not lose. That being said, if they draw any of their 4 Titans or Summoners packs, we die. They drew Sunhome. All right. Oh no, they have enough triggers for Valakut, right? Oh no, they can kill us with Valakut because they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 land drops. So we die to the Valakut. This is sad. I really thought we got there. Yep. And now they get 3 more triggers. So what would have been the other play? Just play the ring, but then we don't have enough mana next turn anyway. I didn't miscount, right? They have 1 more land drop, don't they? They can also just attack with both Dryads, right? Yeah. All right. So we definitely want Dress Down, Murderous Cut, EE. What's bad? Fatal... Okay, Cling to Dust is slow. Fatal Push can kill Dryad if we leave fetch lands up for them. Definitely want Thoughtseize. I guess just opt. Yep. Game 2. On the play. Thoughtseize, Archmage's Charm, Inverter. Well, we'll keep. All right. Fetch Watery Grave. Thoughtseize opponent. Titan, Karn, Endurance, and not great lands. Just take Karn now, take Primeval next turn. Endurance we can eventually beat. All right, take... I guess they play them either way. Yeah, take Karn. And then go. Opponent just plays Slayer's Stronghold. Pass back to us. Play another Thoughtseize. They have Grazer. That's also fine. So yeah, just take Primeval. Play a land. Pass the turn. Rule Turf, pick Slayer's Stronghold back up. All right, Island, go. Then they can, what, do Slayers, and then Grazer, put in the other bounce land, put Slayers back in their hand. All right, well, we need to get action here, so let's draw. All right, Inverter, Talisman, One Ring. All right, we're going to play the One Ring. Cast the Ring. Draw with the Ring. Dress Down's a pretty nice hit. All right, opponent has Endurance, Vesuva, Slayer Stronghold, 3 unknown cards. 4 mana. Oh, if this is Karn, that's so bad. Okay, it's Azusa. So Vesuva, they're going to copy one of our lands, right? Castle Vantress, Sunhome, Slayers. So in their hands, Endurance, 1 other card. All right, Ring Trigger. We go to 12. We still haven't really drawn anything, so let's draw some more cards with the Ring. All right, these are decent at least. Let's go River, play Talisman, and then just hold up Dress Down plus Counterspell. I'm probably going to have to cycle Dress Down regardless of what they do because I'm just not hitting anything. Instead of stopping their second main phase. Or Amulet. Well, I could counter that, but I guess I'm just supposed to counter Titan. So yeah, Amulet resolves. Play Simic Growth Chamber. Play Simic Growth Chamber again. Are they just doing that so that they have the blue mana to scry with Vantress? Yeah, just scry with Vantress? Sure. They put both on the bottom. If they don't cast Endurance now, then they don't have the mana to cast it. Zusa attacks us, that's fine. Go to 11. All right, I need to flash an Endurance now before the end step so I can untap with Inverter capable of going off. So let's cast Dress Down, draw a card, and then I will wait for this to go in the graveyard and push Azusa. All right, so that goes into the graveyard. And now we have Revolt on. Target here, black. All right, Azusa down, untap, take more damage with the Ring, go to 9. Another Dress Down, let's draw with the Ring. We're just not hitting anything, are we? I'm going to stop in my own end step and cast Dress Down then. So let's play an Island, cast Dress Down, trigger, draw a card, still not Thassa's. All right, I guess we're just gonna cycle Vantress unless we need to counterspell something. Discard Watery Grave. Opponent playing Karn, we will definitely counter that. All right, and then the opponent just doesn't have anything else to do. They can't cast Endurance, and they just have Growth Chamber in their hand. All right, Ring, put us to 6. Draw with the Ring, 4 cards. We still haven't hit it. All right, we need to play a new Ring so we don't die to this Ring. So let's play tap, 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 tap. Cast the Ring. Keep the new Ring. I could EE to blow up Amulet, I guess, is probably fine. And then still hold up Counterspell and Fatal Push. How many Watery Graves am I down? 1 and 2. I don't need to hold up Ring right now. Or I don't need to hold up Push right now. So let's go... River, cast EE for 1. Well, I guess I should draw with this. Another Ring. All right. Do I just put 2 EEs on 1? That's probably more mana efficient, right? And then I just hold up Counterspell. Yeah. Another one on 1. And then pass the turn and discard a land. All right. Opponent has Endurance, Simic Growth Chamber, 1 unknown card. If they cast a spell we have to counter, I'll counter it. If they don't, I'll pop EE end of turn to kill Amulet and Grazer. They drew Mycosynth Gardens. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. All right. Activate EE. Those go away. Then we untap. Ring takes us to 5. They're going to flash in Endurance now. Yeah. Is that actually fine? No, that's fine, right? Even if Endurance resolves, that's fine. So we put these cards back in our deck. I'm probably just going to wind up racing them with Inverter, actually, so maybe it's not fine. Counter this, and then what? If I draw Oracle, I just win on the spot then, right? Yeah, so Endurance resolves. Are they targeting themselves? Okay, they're targeting themselves. Go to 5, draw another Inverter. So what is the best move this turn? It's probably fetch, Fatal Push this out of the way, cast Inverter. So if I cast Inverter now, I no longer have Oracle, but I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can play 2 Inverters and Fatal Push, but I can't hold up Counterspell then. So it's probably correct to go draw with the ring, and then if I don't find it... Yeah, all right, so let's draw with the ring. The 4th Inverter. All right, so play the new ring. Tap, 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 tap. Keep the new ring. That turns Revolt on. Then let's just kill this, and then pass with Counterspell up. All right, that's the 3rd ring, right? We're down to 1 more ring left. So opponent has Growth Chamber and an unknown card. 3 mana for Dryad. I probably just need to counter that too, right? I guess I can kill it next turn. They don't even have Valakut. Yeah, so it resolves. I'm very wary of activating the ring at this point, so I think I'm just not going to. So all they have is Growth Chamber. They can't even activate Vantress, so I think we're good. Oh no, they can activate Vantress because Dryad color fixes them. All right, activate Vantress. They put 2 on top. Interesting. They're bouncing Vesuva back to their hand. All right, untap. Ring trigger, take no damage. Draw Murderous Cut. All right, so I'm going to go land, get Revolt turned on so that I can push this. How much mana do I need to hold up? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I do need to hold it up, so I can shock down to 2, and then I can play 2 Inverters and hold Counterspell up. All right, go to 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, I miscounted. Because if I'm pushing this now, or then I can hold Cut up, so let's kill that. Let's just cast Inverter, and then we just got to erase them. Blue, blue. So switch our graveyard and our library. We have 16 cards in our library, and then just pass. They put both on top, which is concerning. All right, counter. Ring trigger, no damage. All right, I think we're good now, so we can go Inverter. Oh no, this is in our graveyard. Oh, I totally forgot about that. Okay, in order to not die, I need to pop EE so I have another turn. Yeah. All right. And then these River of Tears are being super awkward because they're preventing me from using Inverter. So attack. Can't cast anything actually. Go. They have the ring, so we're dead then. We can't damage them next turn, and then we don't have enough damage. Yep. GG, opponent. Wow, this deck's doing pretty badly here. Or, if you don't like how I'm playing, I'm doing very badly. All right. We have 2 lands, a bunch of counters and whatnot. This seems okay. We're on the draw. Gigantha revealed, so it is multiple potential decks. All right, we're facing Tron is what it looks like. All right, play land and pass. Crack Star for green. Play Forest. All right, mono green Tron. Chromatic Sphere. Cracking Chromatic Sphere. Or no, playing another Chromatic Sphere. All right, fetch Watery Grave. Just play land and pass. Crack Chromatic Sphere for green. And then Sylvan Scrying. So let's definitely counter that. Counterspell. All right, play River of Tears and then Talisman, hold up another counter. Opponent cracks Sphere for green. Plays Map, which we will counter. Taps Colorless for Sphere. All right, there's Thoracle. So now let's just go land and then pass the turn holding up Archmage's Charm. Taps for green, cycles the Sphere. Plays Blast Zone. All right, looks like they don't have anything. So let's cast Archmage's Charm and then pay this, this, and this. Draw 2 cards. We drew Ring, push. All right, we can Thoughtseize. We have 6 mana, so we can go... If I want to play the Ring this turn, I can't hold up Archmage's Charm, so let's just go Thoughtseize the opponent. They have Ring, Karn, Wormcoil. Well, Ring and Karn are bad, so let's pick the Ring. So they're going to play one of the 2 next turn. All right, so let's just pick the Ring, and then let's just hold up Archmage's Charm. Yeah, so play this tapped, and then pass. And they go Sanctum, try to resolve Karn, and then we counter it. Oh, I needed to tap River first. It's fine, I take the same amount. Counter this. Blue, blue, blue. So Karn's down, they have Wormcoil and 1 unknown. Ooh, we have 8 cards in our graveyard, so it will take a bit to actually get there. So I can't win the same turn, so it's probably better to ring first. Tap, 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 and then draw. It's another Inverter. All right, pass the turn. So I can go next turn Inverter, put 8 cards into the library, and then I can go Inverter Oracle. All right, they cast the Ring, that's fine. Take damage from the Ring, go to 10. All right, draw. So if I play this talisman, or if I don't play the talisman, I can't hold up Archmage's Charm regardless. I don't think there's anything our opponent can play that's really, really terrible for us. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So let's just go Inverter, then put the 8 cards back in our deck. Then let's just cast Talisman, pass the turn back, and then next turn we can go Inverter, Oracle, win the game. Opponent draws with the ring, of course. Ring draw, play map. So they can map and get Tron online, but then I don't see them being able to do anything that actually prevents us from winning. Cast Worm Coil. All right, map, and now we win. Ring trigger. All right, so cast Inverter, black, black, colorless, colorless. Cast Oracle. All right, game 1 down. What do I want? They're Tron, so I don't want any of this removal. I want Spell Pierce. I want not Chalice or EE. I guess Dispute is a maybe card. Also Dothy. But we're just probably trying to combo them as fast as possible. So put Mystical Dispute, cut this, cut this, cut this. What does Cling to Dust even do in this matchup? I guess it is better at comboing than Dothy is at killing them. All right, let's keep that. On the draw, game 2. We have Spell Pierce, Counterspell, Archmage's Charm. So we have a counter on each part of the curve. I think we can keep. Opponent mold to 5. Plays Power Plant, map. All right, well, we're 1 turn off from being able to actually counter all of this stuff. So let's just play River of Tears, pass the turn. All right, they're at turn off as well, so they have a forest. All right, Shockin' Watery Grave, pass the turn. So activate map on end step. Got Tower, play Tower, playing Chromatic Star, that's fine. Sacking Chromatic Star for green, and it looks like they're not going to do anything besides that. All right, let's go Shock Watery Grave, and then cast Talisman, and now hold up Spell Pierce or Counterspell. Blast Zone, and now it's going to be Karn, right? Let's just Spell Pierce this right now, I guess. Yeah. Should I counter or Spell Pierce here? Spell Pierce gets way worse if they draw into Natural Tron, so let's just do this. Spell Pierce. I don't think I'll need to double counter them. But I guess my life total mostly doesn't matter in this matchup. It's also possible I just want to draw more cards. No, it's not. It's definitely not possible that I want to draw with Archmage's Charm. So let's just opt. All right, I'll keep lands and then play that tapped. So the plan is Archmage's Charm, whatever they play this turn to counter it, and then next turn I can play Ring with the mana up to play Counterspell. Another Forest. All right, well, they're representing Veil of Summer, but what are you going to do? Counter. Blue, blue, blue. So maybe that is a reason that I should have kept up 2 different counter spells. All right, they didn't have it. Okay, Delta, fetch, cast the ring, draw, pass the turn. Opponent plays Beseiju, and they have 6 mana. Put Gigantha into hand, and then do nothing else. All right. Untap, ring takes us to 13. Archmage's Charm, draw with the ring. Play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Play, so they're going to play Gigantha next turn if they don't have anything else. Play Delta, go. Opponent plays Sylvan Scrying. We definitely need to counter that. Blue, blue, blue. And then they just don't have the mana for Gigantha. All right, fetch, get an island. Archmage's Charm to draw cards. All right, there's Inverter and Oracle. Ring triggers. So if I play Inverter, I put 7 cards back in the deck, and then I can draw 3 of them with the ring, so I can't win this turn. So that being the case, I'm in no danger of dying, so I guess I should draw first to see what I get. All right, let's go with Thoughtseize. They have Dust, Karn, Gigantha. I don't care about either of these 2, so let's take Karn. All right, so Inverter, 8 cards are left in the deck, and then next turn I can just go Inverter, Oracle. So let's play River of Tears, and then let's cast Inverter. And then I get to hold up Counter plus Spell Pierce and win the next turn. Plays Relic of Progenitus, sure. Cracks Relic, okay. Plays Sylvan Scrying, so we'll just counter that. Ring trigger, we go to 5, and then we just win. All right, Inverter, black, black, colorless, blue. Cast Oracle. They are not happy about this LMAO, giving the Z's in chat. Yep. Well, they actually said that before I could put Oracle on the stack, but don't know what's going on now. This is, again, one of the problems with digital over paper, which is that right now, I don't actually know what their intentions are. So the most, what's the phrasing here? Non-benefit of the doubt is they are salty and they're intentionally running the clock out. Now, the benefit of the doubt is they disconnected, and so this is not intentional. And in paper, you would know for sure, but in digital, you don't. Plays Tron, complains about other decks. Yep. I recall once I was at a paper tournament. I believe I was playing Affinity, and the other player I played against complained because they're like, oh, Arcbound Ravager is just too powerful. Like, what am I supposed to do? And that player was playing Ad Nauseam. All right, final round on the play. We have Ring, Archmage's Charm, 5 lands. This seems way too slow, so let's mull. Opponent reveals Kahira. That's not a good sign. All right, mulligan. Only 1 land and 3 mana rocks. I guess we could technically opt into the second land, but if we don't hit the second land, we're completely screwed, so we have to mull. Your opponent has disconnected. Oh, does MTGO actually tell you when your opponent's disconnected? I was not aware of that. I was hoping we could get more of these leagues done in a day, but they're just taking insanely long. All right, mull of the 5. All right, keep. Let's keep. Let's put one of the charms back, and then let's put... Oh, I don't even know. What's our plan here? Opt on turn 1 to try to hit more lands. Counterspell up on turn 2. Try to get there with the ring. All right, put Archmages back. Play land pass. Steam Vent's shocked. Or not shocked. All right, let's fetch an island and cast Opt. Fatal Push on top. Nope. Drew Inverter. Okay. Play a land. Pass the turn. So is this 5-color control again? Island. Well, let's fetch Watery Grave. Tapped. Untap. Another counterspell. Play Watery Grave tapped. Pass the turn. Opponent casts Ice, targeting our Watery Grave. I guess let's counter that. Denies them a card, at least. Flooded Strand, and now they're just going to resolve to Fairy, and then our counterspells don't work anymore. Yep. Minuses to draw a card. All right. Fetch. Island. Play the ring. They had Force and Negation. All right. Go ahead, opponent. Plus to Fairy. Narset finds Days Undoing. Okay, so we're going to lose real quick here. Yeah, let's just concede the game and go to the next game. All right. Dispute, Spell Pierce, Dothy, cutting Fatal Push, probably Cling to Dust, Murderous Cut. Well, okay. Yeah, Murderous Cut. I don't know that they're on Omnath. And Mono-Rock, submit. All right, on the play. All right, this is fine. Revealed Kahira. Mold to 6. All right, let's play River of Tears, pass, and then cast Opt. All right, let's just cast Opt now. Swamp on top, we do need more lands, so I'll draw that. So if I play River of Tears, I can play Dothy, or I can play Talisman and then the Ring. Let's just get pressure going, I think. Maybe it is better to play the Ring next turn. Dothy's not going to do much. Yeah, all right, River, play the Mono Rock, go. Hall of Storm Giants. All right, well, let's try to jam the Ring out and see if it gets through Counterspell. Reprieve, bounce it back to our hand. All right. Opponent plays a Plains. I assume it's to Fairy bouncing our Talisman back now. No, it isn't. Well, let's try for the Ring again. Force Negation, sure. Play Polluted Delta, go. Opponent plays Scalding Tarn, passes. All right, fetch. Does it matter if I get Watery Grave or not? Yeah, it does. Shock this in, Opt, put that on the bottom. Drew a land, all right. All right, now we're just drawing nothing. So, okay, let's play Dothy Voidwalker and then hold up Otawara. So let's go Tarn and then tap this, black, Dothy Voidwalker. Fetch with Scalding Tarn. All right. Opponent just hardcast Subtlety. Yeah. All right. That resolves. Let's put it on the bottom and then pass. Another land. Well, I'm not bouncing Subtlety back to their hand, so let's just untap. Well, we drew another land, so play that tapped, pass the turn. They're just going to flash in Solitude, probably. No, they just fetched a basic Plains. Take 3 from Subtlety, go to 11. Play Steam Vents, tapped. All right, grab a Watery Grave out of our deck. Untap. We drew another land. All right, play that, pass the turn. And attack with Subtlety down to 7. Back to our turn, we drew another land. Pass it back. Plays a land, attacks us with Subtlety. Yep, yeah, okay, yeah, that resolves. Casting what? Kahira. Or just putting Kahira in their hand and then passing back to us. All right. We drew Archmage's Charm. So I need to draw with this right now, basically. Draw 2. Does this resolve? It did resolve. If we thought Seas were dead unless we bounce this back to their hand. So we've got... No, we have... They're going to play Kahira. So I guess we pass it back to them. They play Kahira. We Otawara Kahira back to their hand. Yeah, okay. Pass it back. Or we Otawara Subtlety back to their hand. No, we have to Otawara Kahira, because the only way we're getting out of this is Inverter comboing. But we have 5 cards in our deck, so that's unlikely. Opponent end steps in Solitude. Well, I have to counter that. All right, so now Kahira, fetch, play Kahira. It resolves. All right, bounce this. They have Fire. All right, well, that's that. Rough. Really, really rough. So obviously not one of the top meta decks, but I feel like it performed much worse than it actually is. In part due to multiple things there. One of them was facing 3 different counterspell decks, which Inverter is the worst against counterspell decks. And also, like in that game, for example, we just flooded. We just had nothing. I don't like the River of Tears at all. They are very awkward on the mana base, as is Sunken Ruins. I feel like these should just be... What else could they be? You never want them to be tap lands, so you don't want them to be fast lands. They could be pathways, which is also kind of awkward. Maybe they're fine, it just takes a bit of getting used to. But overall, yeah, not a great showing, but I think the deck is better than how it performs there.